Yo, what up, YouTube? What up, boxing fans? George Groves just had a pretty solid victory against Glen Johnson. A solid boxing performance. Really used his legs. Showed a good jab. It surprised me that Glen Johnson was getting backed up very easily by the younger George Groves. He didn't really fight too much on the inside, but when he was on the inside, he did hold his own. Overall, I think George Groves is a solid prospect. However, he tends to get a little reckless when there were times where Glen Johnson was on the ropes and he seemed like he was ready to counter, and George Groves is just winging shots, winging like really wide hooks, and he really has to shorten that out because he was definitely wide open for counters. Except Glen Johnson at this stage of his career, he just could not pull the trigger. 43 years old, moving down to 168. Still a solid fighter, but really just did not have it in the tank to take out George Groves late in the fight. Glen Johnson knew he wasn't going to win a boxing match. He was trying to knock George Groves out late, hoping he would tire himself out, and that just didn't happen. Glen Johnson seemed exhausted at the end of the fight. He was even knocked down in the 12th round. There was even times where it seemed like George Groves might have been on his way to a TKO, except Glen Johnson's just too, he's just too slick. He's old, a wily veteran, and on the ropes, he knew what he was doing. He was hoping George Groves would sort of wear himself out, throwing too many punches, and then he could come on the attack. And really, Glen Johnson's power didn't really hurt George Groves. So, overall, this was a solid fight. He beat that veteran over a 12-round decision. Only one guy's ever knocked out Glen Johnson, so I wouldn't expect him to do that. But it was a solid fight. All credit to George Groves. Tremendous performance. He really showcased his speed, agility, athleticism, and head movement. He had a decent defense. He's really taken a little page out of the Sergio Martinez book, because his stance, it's kind of like he leaves that left hand dangling and that right hand up, but he's got really long arms. It's kind of like a Sergio Martinez mixed with a Carl Froch, but he doesn't seem to have that one knockout type power. He's got solid power, but it's accumulation of punishment. He's got that volume punching style, a lot of combinations, a lot of flurries, and really ambush style. He gets in, he gets out, and he doesn't take too much damage on the way out, which is a solid style. And I expect this kid to really show as a good prospect. I think he can beat a lot of super middleweights out there, except for Andre Ward. He's literally the best in the world, pound for pound. So at least one of the best. But George Groves, he's definitely got a long way up. And can he beat Arthur Abraham? I think he can. So this kid definitely has a good future, and we'll see where he goes from there. For now, it is what it is, guys. Peace out. Take care.